Battalion 9 from Coldwater. Instead of Engine 99, you'll be getting Task Force 92.
My name is Brandon Dunn. I am currently the Assistant Chief of the Mebane Fire Department. I've been with the department for 27 years and was recently promoted to Assistant Chief back in February.
And what has been the best part about working for the City of Mebane as the Assistant Chief?
The City of Mebane, we have some great firefighters, both career and volunteer. Our firefighters are well trained, and we have one of the best departments around. It's just, it's a lot of fun working with the guys and girls here. Just doing the things that we do.
And the City of Mebane Fire Department is split up almost 50-50 of volunteer and career-based or salary-based firefighters. Can you explain to us a little bit about the dynamics and how that works?
Sure. When the department first started, it was all volunteer. Back in the late 80s, we hired our first paid firefighters. In the 90s, we went to shift work, and then we grew into more paid firefighters as the years progressed. Right now, we actually have more paid firefighters than we do volunteers because of the amount of growth that the city has experienced, the demand for the calls. We actually have more paid firefighters now. We still have a group of active volunteers that the city depends on that supplement our paid staff. Primarily on fire response. They don't do medical calls, but primary fire response. And it's really good because you know, the volunteers have a big part in the department. You know, we couldn't do it without the volunteers, but for the everyday calls, we have the paid firefighters that are here and ready to go and very quickly.
So in your new role, what have been some of the biggest challenges or adversities you've had to overface going from captain to assistant chief?
It's always a transition period going from a captain to an assistant chief or to a chief, especially coming in with a new fire chief. We've got a new fire chief and you know, a new way of doing things. So it's a transition period for everybody. And you know, we're going through a lot of changes in the department, new uniforms, new training, new guidelines, top to bottom. We're kind of looking at the way we do things and evaluating things. And it's really fun to be a part of that process. It's also a challenge to be a part of that process. And anytime you take on a new role, there's always, you know, it's always a bit of nervousness. There's always a bit of, you know, you want to make sure that you're doing the best that you can do in that position. You don't want to disappoint anybody.
Mm-hmm. And we'll flip that. What has been something that you absolutely love about this new role?
It's been a lot of fun looking at the opportunities that we have as a department and learning how we can better ourselves and how we can grow, how we can make the guys and girls happier here. And really to be able to serve the community better, how we can do a better job, how we can be more efficient, how we can be better trained, how we can just have better camaraderie amongst the firefighters, both paid and volunteer. You know, even though the volunteers are separate from the paid staff, we're one department. And when we go on calls, our citizens don't know whether we're volunteers or whether we're paid. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun getting everybody together and really watching everybody kind of enjoy the transition.
How many firefighters are currently volunteers from City of Mebane?
We currently have about 20 volunteers with the space for close to 25.
Are there any requirements that are differentiate from paid to volunteer? And if so, what are they?
Sure. Our volunteer firefighters have different requirements than the paid firefighters. They are required to have a high school diploma, be 18 years of age, and live within the fire district, whereas our paid firefighters are required to be EMTs, fully certified firefighters. With our volunteers, we actually train the firefighters as we go along throughout their career. And they don't have to come in. They can come in fresh with absolutely no experience and no training.
And what do some of the trainings look like for the volunteers that you take them out on?
So we train the volunteers when they're new on a lot of the basic functions of being a volunteer firefighter, such as how to operate their pager, how to wear their gear, how to wear the SCBA, where to ride in the truck, and what each position, what their responsibilities are. We train on the equipment on all the trucks so that if we need them to get a ladder or another piece of equipment, that they know where that equipment is so that they can be efficient and get what we need. We also train on a lot of the basics of fighting fire, the basic firefighting techniques, ventilation, fire control, operating the hoses, operating the ladders, and just the basic things that are needed of any firefighter.
What is one of the benefits to being a volunteer firefighter with the City of Mebane?
You obviously get to serve your community. That's the biggest benefit. We ask that you participate in calls. We ask that you be active. We ask that you train with us. But there's not, you don't have a set schedule. You can do it as you're able to do it. And you really get the benefit of just being able to help learn being a firefighter. A lot of people may be interested in doing that for a career. So you're able to get some training that you may not get anywhere else. And you really just get to serve the community and be able to do something good. And quite honestly, it's a lot of fun.
What does the transition look like from somebody who is currently a volunteer and is looking to get out of volunteer and become a paid firefighter?
So in the past, we've had a lot of firefighters that have went through being a volunteer firefighter and are now paid firefighter for either the City of Mebane or for other departments. And a lot of times we'll give preference to firefighters that have been volunteers, that are certified, that meet the minimum requirements. With the firefighters volunteering their time for us, we obviously get to spend time with them and get to know them and understand them. And a lot of times that will make them a better fit, or we'll know whether they're a better fit to become a full-time firefighter here, or if not, somewhere else.
If people are interested in becoming a volunteer, where can they go to apply?
So if they're interested in becoming a volunteer, they can go to the City of Mebane's website under the hiring page, and there is a job posting for a volunteer firefighter. They can fill out the application and go through the process and apply to come on.
And the City of Mebane is essentially always looking for volunteers. There's never like an inactive hiring period. It's always active.
Yeah, we actually, we do currently have a maximum cap of around 25 volunteer firefighters. So if we were to reach that, we could pause that for a while. So there is a chance. We're hoping that we actually get to max that out at some point.
What have been some of the ways that you all have come together and boosted the camaraderie between volunteer and paid firefighters?
One of the things that we're doing is we're doing a lot more training together. We're doing a lot more hands-on training, to where the volunteers on Thursday night, which is our training night, we're able to get with the paid staff, and we go to our training tower. We go to different buildings and we do different things to where our volunteers are able to work right alongside the paid staff. The live burn that we did, things like that. It's really a lot of fun to get them together, but just the training, the meals that we've had, some Thursday night meals, and just some other things, different committees that we've been involved in that have allowed us to work closer to the volunteers, work closer to the paid staffs. It's just a lot of fun getting everybody together and really, sometimes there is perception of volunteers being different than paid firefighters, and in reality they are, but we're still one department. So it's just a lot of fun getting everybody together.
What is the biggest misconception that you've heard throughout the community between our paid and our volunteer staff?
A lot of times the community doesn't really know the difference between a paid firefighter and a volunteer firefighter, other than the paid firefighters may show up in their dress uniform or in their their black t-shirts and tan pants, whereas volunteers will have our gear on, but we may have a blue t-shirt underneath it. A lot of the people don't know, and a lot of them frankly don't care, as long as we're showing up in the time that they need us and we're helping them. And we really want to keep it that way. We want to keep it, it's one department, and we don't want there to be a time to where really the community knows, other than knowing we have volunteers, that a volunteer truck has showed up or a career truck has showed up.
Do all firefighters have their names embroidered on the back, whether you're paid or volunteer?
They do. We all firefighters have the same gear. We have the same coats, the same pants. We have the same helmets. All of our helmets have our names on them, our ranks. So in the face of the public, when we are on a call, you're not going to see any difference in either of us. Thank you for joining us. We hope that this has been informative. We hope you've got some good information that you may or may not have known about the department and the opportunities we have. If you're interested in becoming a junior firefighter or a volunteer firefighter, we hope that you'll reach out to us. Either give us a call at the department. You can go to the City of Mebane's website and look for the volunteer opportunities, or feel free to stop by. We'll be happy to give you a tour, let you visit with us during training, and see what it is we do.